I think it's really interesting if you ask people what the defining moments of their different college experiences are. And I think what's interesting is if you look at my freshman year defining moment, which is a love for policy, then my second, it shows a love for people. But now my third, I actually get to combine those two passions through this campaign run. So my first year defining moment had to be the time that somebody actually called the cops on me. They didn't do anything wrong. I was really into academics my freshman year. And so my freshman year of college, I got a research fellowship in nuclear nonproliferation and trade policy. As I was sitting there, I found out the midterm project wasn't going to be a typical exam. We actually had to simulate a terrorist attack. Then we had to plan it, we had to tell the cops what we were going to do, and the idea was to make it better. The problem is, if you plan a terrorist attack, people actually think you're serious. And so when my group and I went to the dining hall that we were planning to attack, somebody actually thought I was a terrorist. And the cops got called, and before I knew it, not only was there a police report, but there was a text message going to my professor that armed guards were waiting at the door, and I found myself walking into class being accused in front of everybody that I almost got my professor arrested that day. But I realized during that defining moment just how much I really loved policy. Fast forward to my sophomore year, and rather than having to deal with explaining to a cop how I didn't really mean to be considered a terrorist, I was sitting on the floor of an elementary school classroom reading to children out of the books that they had just been given for the first time. See, in between my freshman year and my sophomore year, I went on a mission trip to Guatemala. And when we were there, it was funny how the poverty in that nation only made me care that much more about the students in Athens. And so when I came back, I realized that one of the biggest barriers to getting out of poverty was education. But many of these kids didn't have books. So we started First Book UGA, and suddenly I found myself giving books at the end of the year to 1,200 different students. And as I'm sitting there, listening to them, reading the stories with them, that became my defining moment, the year that I really realized how much I loved people. So here I am my junior year, running for vice president of SGA on reDEFINE's ticket. And the thing that I love about this year's defining moment is that it combines those two loves. On the one hand, I love policy, and I love tweaking it and making it actually work. But I love it even more when I can apply it and use it to impact the students that I love on this campus. And that's what this campaign is all about. It's about making SGA about you again, about caring about what you're passionate about, and using policy to impact your life in a positive way.